Hi and welcome back. It's Carol from Crinkled Path Journals, and I'm here today with the second to the last page in my altered book, Memory Keeping Junk Journal. And I have some great vintage wallpaper prints. I have this funny little egg ad, and then this is the page that I have to work on today. I saved this page because of the egg chopper. I remember being fascinated with making my own egg salad once I learned how, and the fact that when you turn the egg one way it sliced, and then when you turned it the other way it diced. And it's like such a simple concept, but you know, to a kid it's exciting to learn something new. Between my mom and my neighbor mom, I came across a few unusual cooking things. So maybe this isn't something newfangled, but I do remember just being fascinated with it. A couple of the other things that I thought were quite fascinating as a kid were the popsicle makers. We used to make our own out of Kool-Aid or juice, and we had different shapes. And then that was always fun to share with your friends on a hot summer day because they were just right there in the freezer. A couple more unusual items that I remember learning about were from my neighbor mom, and their family were Pennsylvania Dutch Germans, and they made some unusual cookies. One of the cookies she made was called a rosette, and it was made with a cast iron cookie mold that almost looked like a branding iron. So the cast iron shape would be screwed onto the end of this very thin little angle iron with a handle, and you would dip that in the batter, the rosette cookie batter, and then you would dip that in hot oil, and it made these very crispy, crunchy, deep fried cookies. And then you would sprinkle powdered sugar on them. And then the other cookie she made that was fascinating to me was called a pizzelle, and it was made in what looked like a waffle iron, and they were light and crisp and airy, and they were so delicious. My mom was a big fan of her angel food cake pan, and she still uses that today. It's crazy to me how the two pieces come together and create this cake, and then the pan comes apart to get the cake out. I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to cut this so that I can see my egg chopper. When my sister and brother got married, for my sister's wedding, my mom bought an automatic crepe maker, and I made like 200 crepes for her wedding in the 80s. And then it went so well that when my brother got married, maybe 5 months later, I think, I did the crepes again for my brother and future sister-in-law's wedding rehearsal dinner. And I still think that's the easiest way to make crepes today. I got a crepe maker for a wedding gift myself, and I still love making crepes with it. It's basically a mounded round top with a handle on it, and you dip the top in your batter, and then you turn it over, and it just cooks a very thin layer of the batter on the heat plate, and then you just turn it over again and kind of touch it with a fork, and it flops off of the pan, and it makes perfect crepes every time. I love walking through the thrift store and looking at old toasters and bread boxes, and I don't have space for collecting that kind of thing, and I'm always interested in new to me items and understanding what they are. Some good friends of ours a few years ago who are Danish introduced us to amused, which are a Danish pancake that's made in a cast iron pan. And the cast iron pan has all these little divots in it, and you put batter in there, and then you use a little wooden stick to flip the little puffy pancakes over in there. And again, you can put jam and butter, or you can put powdered sugar on them, and they're just delicious little breakfast treat. And my daughter was so excited because she found an amused pan. They're expensive if you buy them new. She found one in the thrift store, and the thrift store person was marking the price on it and didn't really understand what it was, I guess. And I think he marked it like $5. And I remember she called me and was like, should I buy this? It's only $5. And I was like, yes. They're like $45 online. I like these yellow circles to match all our circles on the page. My mom was a big fan of Tupperware in the 70s too. We had lots of that laying around, and I remember going to a Tupperware party, and one of the things that they would do is they would play little games and they would give you prizes. And I remember winning an orange peeler as a prize, and it's just a little plastic handle with a hook on it that you drag around the edge, and it basically just cuts the peeling and not into the fruit, and so you can peel your oranges. I also remember it kind of looks like a tiny little funnel with a screw on the end, and it's for juicing lemons, where you just press it into your lemon and then you squeeze and the juice comes out the funnel. I think the kitchen is one of the areas where we tend to get the most gadgets in our home. I don't have a very big kitchen, so I try to always, if I get a new gadget, I try to have it take the place of one that I'm no longer using very often. So, you know, air fryers and instant pots are the thing now. We remodeled our kitchen a few years ago, and that's when I got my Instant Pot, and I was sort of forced to use it every day because I didn't have a kitchen, and so I was cooking pretty much everything in it. That really taught me how to use it quickly. I'm trying to decide if I want to, where I want to put this, and if I want to actually cover up that much of the page. I think I'll do it this way. That way I will be able to write on the page. If I put it out there, it'll be hard to write on. So what are your favorite childhood memories about gadgets? Or what's a gadget you still use today, or that's new to you today, that you can't live without? Our current favorite thing that we're not able to live without is our air fryer. And it's because we love vegetables, and it makes the best roasted vegetables ever. I was able to replace my toaster on the counter with a air fryer that does toasting and broiling and baking, and it does the air frying. And we just use it for our morning toast if needed, and that way I got rid of my big toaster. I like the way this page is shaping up. He's such a cute little chef. I'm going to list the items here that I talked about, and I'm going to go ahead and color my egg in. I think I'm going to save this little card possibly for something else. And then let's see, is there something else I want to put on this page? I keep putting my little outfits in, and I don't have very many left from this set. I have a second set of these kind of paper dolls. Of all the paper doll outfits, this is the one that reminds me most of something I actually owned. I mean, this little jacket looks so familiar to me. So I think I want to put that one on the page. And then I think I want to use a little piece of fabric. And I'm going to grab my little snippet bag here and see if I can find something else we can put on to add to collage. I have this little piece of my other wallpaper. I have a little piece of envelope. I have some more of my little golden book spine. I have a piece of a box. Okay, let's see how we can get these on the page in some kind of a collage. I like this accuracy guaranteed from this box. Honestly, don't remember what this was from, but I think I might put that down here. The egg chopper made perfect chopped eggs every time. The accuracy was guaranteed. Let's try a little piece of this. So I don't want to completely cover up my background paper, but I do want to add a little more interest to the page. So maybe there. And then let's see. Try cutting this in half. More of the blue to show. I like the little bear on here. Yeah, I think I like that. We'll get that glued down and then I will work on coloring my egg slicer. Okay, I'm going to try the top-down gluing method with these. So you put a little glue and you take the piece that's on top, place it where you want it, and then you can pick up all the items with it, turn them over, and put glue between the layers. This is such a bright and fun, happy print from the background. And it comes from an Etsy shop called Paper Farms, and it's the 70s disco wallpaper. Using my Prismacolor pencils again, I ended up coloring something white in every time in this book. We have our own chickens and they lay all different colored eggs. We have like Welsumers that lay terracotta eggs, and we have Easter eggers, which lay green and olive and blue eggs. And sometimes like almost a off-white that's pink. And then we have an Australorp, which kind of lays a little bit of a beige colored egg. And then we have some Wyandottes that lay brown eggs. And my brand new chickies that are out there, I have a couple new breeds. I have what's called a golden sex link, which has both a Rhode Island red and one other kind of chicken combined to make good egg layers, and they lay brown eggs. And then I also have some buff Orpingtons this time around, and they lay brown eggs. But in the 70s, growing up, I ate the white eggs. That's what we had in the grocery store, and we didn't have chickens at home like I do now. I'm going to use my Uniball Signo silver gel pen to paint the egg chopper. When I was a kid, our egg choppers were metal, and then the things that cut the egg were wire. There we go. Okay, before I go, I wanted to also give a quick shout out to Possum Patty, who was willing to share some of her story on my food page, which I did right here. And so thanks, Patty, for coming and sharing and checking out the channel. I think I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling on here. And I think we're down to only one page left in the book, the very last page. And so I'll see you next time to do that. Take care and bye-bye.